Hey, oh, that was my hip. Did you hear that? I'm like raving with my cracking bones. It's not good. Okay, 2 words. Leaf pillows. That's what I'm doing. That's all you need. So my idea is to maybe quilt the top layer of the leaf so it has like little dimensions, and then just make it into a pillow. Woo! Okay, I have some options here. So ginkgos get golden color, although I do like them green color. I have this, and then I got a couple greens. Ooh, I can make 3 of them. Okay. Leaf pillows. The thing you didn't know you need, but now you do. I'm gonna try to use all materials that I have already because I'm not about that wasting life. Just because I want to be resourceful. Okay. I'm gonna draw up some leaves on some paper. But first, I need to do some field research. Ooh. Ah. Size comparison. This is broken. This is my prized possession leaf. You know, sometimes I really be kind of stupid. And I'm really sad that I broke my ginkgo leaf. Why do I break everything? It's funny because I create a lot of things, but I also break a lot of things. And in 2021, I broke 2 mirrors, so I don't have a good track record. Alrighty, I've decided on my 3 leaves, which is a Monstera, a Ginkgo leaf, and an Anthurium, which I will get wrong several times in this video because I didn't know what I was making until now. So, yeah. I'm actually not a very good drawer when it comes... I'm not a good drawer. I'm not a very good drawer. And proportions kind of mess me up sometimes, so this took me a couple tries, but I was able to do it and cut out my pattern. Here is the 3 leaf patterns that I drew up. My ginkgo leaf turned out a bit big, but that's okay. So the plan is cut out 2 layers of the outside fabric and 1 layer of some sort of scrap fabric, and then 1 layer of batting. You heard the lady. 2 outsides, 1 scrap, and 1 batting. Let's go. I cut the outside fabrics right to the pattern piece, and then I just sloppily cut out the scrap fabric and the batting because you don't really need to have it perfect, and it's easier to not have it perfect actually when you're quilting. So I just hacked up a bed sheet and I'm using some scrap batting. I would urge you to use whatever you have on stock. You actually can use a lot of things for batting, just anything with high loft. For my ginkgo leaf, I used this fleece fabric that I had a little bit of, and you don't even need to have a whole piece. You just can piece it together right where the edges are. I also use spray adhesive to help it stick to all the layers, but you don't necessarily need that if you don't have it. So I urge you to use what you got. To assemble all these pieces, if you didn't already get the picture, you put the scrap fabric on bottom, then your batting, and then your pretty piece on top. I use safety pins to pin them all together because it's easy, and I had them for making a giant quilt, but you can always use regular pins if you don't have safety pins. I mean, if you want to disregard safety, go ahead, and you can be a little bit reckless. Oh, that was a bad joke. Okay, sorry. 1 sleep later. Good morning. Look, I got a milk frother for Christmas. Oh! I'm addicted. and they enabled my addiction to matcha. Anyways, we got all of our quilted pieces ready. So pretty much what we got here is a quilt sandwich. My plan is to stitch all the veins on all these leaves and then attach this piece to the back and then stuff it. Should be simple. Hopefully we can get done today. You know, this was supposed to be like a quick project. Joke's on me. Maybe I shouldn't have done 3. I was like, I love too many leaves that I'm just gonna make all of them. Why do I do that? Why do I do that? Here I am drawing out my veins on the top of my leaf with some very erasable chalk. Make sure you have something that won't leave a mark because you're probably not gonna wash this unless you're like a lot better than me at things, which you might be, so I ain't gonna wash it. Okay, so you don't need a walking foot and you also don't need a free motion quilting foot. You can use a regular foot. You just have to be mindful of when it drags the fabric, it might warp the layers of your sandwich. I'm gonna use my free motion quilt because I really had some practice with it when I made my quilt and now I'm pretty comfortable using it. So if you have a free motion quilting foot, then definitely do some practice sandwiches. I know that people also use the walking foot, especially if they're quilting just straight lines. This helps make sure that the fabric isn't getting tugged. The sandwich, the layers aren't getting tugged because this picks itself up. That's what a walking foot is. No, it's not the thing from Star Wars, but I wish. The walking foot. So this step of the process is actually quite easy, and that is to just sew the lines. I started with the main vein and then sewed the other leaf veins right next to it. Ooh, yeah. I'm so excited! That turned out looking pretty dang good. I love the high loft batting. Now I'm gonna move on to the other leaves. For this, I think this is a peperomia. I'm gonna use cream color. For this leaf, I decided it would look best if I tried to make it look like a really expensive embroidery machine did it by just using a really wide zigzag stitch and going over that like twice so that the thread builds up and it looks like I stitched a little design into it. So I'm going to start with a wide zigzag stitch, then slowly taper it down to make all of the veins. Okay, that ain't bad. That's a lot of thread. This one's gonna take me a really long time. I had to go over this like 3 times and you know, it's not as uniform, but plants aren't uniform. So what if their veins
are a little wonky, okay?
But I think it's gonna work. It's just gonna take me forever. And sometimes when I like look at the needle and I have to make sure it's really perfect, like a zigzag stitch is falling on the same width and like I'm holding it straight, I get a little bit dizzy. And so I'm like It looks like I'm going slow here because I am, but don't get me wrong, my machine is going as fast as it can and I am just moving the fabric very slow and back and forth to build up the density of the stitches so it looks like I embroidered it. And oh my gosh, this uses so much thread, I literally already ran out of bobbin. Alrighty, it's getting pretty tiring and now we're on bobbin number 4. 5 bobbins in, 3 lines down, 2 or 3 hours.
6, 7, 8, 9,
Alright, this is bobbin number 10 and needle number 3. Remind me why this was a good idea.
11.
Ooh. Okay, so that took me approximately 6 hours to do this. A bitch with a zigzag stitch can do that shit. Oh! I was very wrong. This leaf that I'm making is not a peperomia. It is a
Anthurium clarinervium.
Anthurium clarinervium. It's pretty close. It's pretty dang close. Now I am finishing up my ginkgo leaf by just stitching normal lines, not doing that fake embroidery technique. And it is a lot easier. I'm just freehanding it. Alright. That only took me 30 to 45 minutes. And the other one took me 6 hours. Okay, now I gotta take a break and go run some errands. I have some bad news. Well, it's not really bad news for you. It's bad news for me. My serger had been in the shop for the second time. It was in the shop in October. They said the timing and alignment was off. And then I tried using it again and it worked for a little while, but then all of a sudden it didn't work and the fabric would get stuck. So I took it in the shop again. And after a month of having their most experienced technician work on it, they said it's not repairable. I got it used, I paid $150 for it, and it worked well for a while until it didn't. So I've had a lot of serger drama and I need to go pick up my dead serger, and that's where I'm gonna go, and I'll come back and finish this later. Hey, I'm back with my dead weight serger. If you want to leave a tip down below, you could give me a super thanks and it will go directly towards a fund a new serger fund. Thanks. I'm much more comfortable now and we're gonna work on them pillows. The next step is to trim off all the extra batting and extra fabric from the quilt sandwich and then attach the front to the back right sides together, leaving a good old gap for you to stick your hand through. Good morning. What's up? Time to finish these damn pillows today. These pillows! Alright, last night I got them all sewn together and now I just need to flip them right sides out. I'm gonna start with the easy peasy one, which is my ginkgo and my anthurium leaf. Also, I'm making sure to cut the seam allowance down. This one's gonna be a beige. Okay, so this took me an hour to turn right side out and it don't look right. I think stuffing it would be super hard, so I may or may not remake it. I'm just gonna go ahead and stuff the other ones and maybe that'll cheer my spirits and we'll figure out what to do with this. I don't know. You just don't understand me. It's stuffing time. I've been waiting for this moment because this is all fabric scraps and that's what I'm gonna use to stuff it because I'm being economical and resourceful. If you're a sewer like me, you probably have a big fat stack of fabric scraps laying around. I'm using the smallest pieces to stuff this because I sort my fabric scraps by size. There are also many other options though. If you don't have fabric scraps, I would urge you to look for old pillows that you can cut open and use as stuffing. You could even buy old pillows at the thrift store. If you need to buy new stuffing, I still would urge you to buy pillows and cut them open instead of buying craft stuffing because it's the same stuff, just way more expensive. But there are many options to use recycled materials, which is sick. I drew a giant leaf. that I'm gonna do. But the thing is I don't have any more fabric. Well, this is all I got. So that's not gonna work, and I failed on my quest to use all of the materials I had. So I think about going to the store and redoing it. Okay. I'm back. They didn't have any flat velvet, so I had to get a crushed velvet. I'm not thrilled about it, but I think it'll be alright. Okay, round 2. Psst. It's easier to match up the front and back if you keep it on the batting. Here I am using spare batting to stuff the points of the splits of the leaves, just because I wanna. And then I stuff the rest with fabric scraps. Alrighty, this is the last step. Now we just gotta close up the hole we left. We're gonna do this via a ladder hand stitch. If you don't know how to do that, you might want to look up a video, because it'd probably be much better than a 10-second description on what to do. So yeah. Sorry. Wow, it's going so much faster when you've already done it before. Leaf. Oh, it's still recording. Awkward. Can you use that again? I'm kind of like filming right now. Can you just pause it?
We're almost done.
Mitch.
Or just like fast forward through it.
Pointless video, pointless footage. Pointless footage.